Today, no stranger to us here in Jacksonville, Florida, North Florida, and quite frankly, the southeastern United States. Tony Hill, Anthony Tony Hill is with us today. He has worn many colors, many coats with many colors over the years. Union official, union leader, politician, community organizer, and just a good guy throughout the years. Glad to see you could join us today, Tony.
Thank you, Fred, for giving us a few moments on the world-renowned podcast. Fred Matthews. Yes, sir.
Well, we're certainly getting there. Tell us a bit about, before we delve into one of the things in what you're really here for, tell us a bit about the state of our city and the state of our state right now.
Well, Fred, I am coming to you today razor focus on Black males and the plight of Black males in this country. When I think about really that drew me into this summit that we're going to be having is when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. It appeared that Chris Rock had nowhere to turn to in terms of a safe space for Black males. I would submit to you, Fred, and I don't think I'm too far off though, if that would have been a female, the Me Too movement would have jumped on him right there before he even left that event. And of course, other folks in our community would have probably ostracized him, but for him to stand up, Fred, and receive a standing ovation and an award that night after an assault is just incredible. And then
I think everybody was simply shocked.
Right.
And some people in the room, since they're all entertainers that were there, some people might have even thought it was a stunt that was being played, since Chris basically bounced right back from it and continued with the show. So I think everybody was in a bit of shock about the whole thing, about what had occurred.
Well, and I think that's the premise of some folks, but some people took it a little bit further and said, well, that's how they act in the hood. And so I just thought that when I saw that, I was just thinking to myself, if he's a celebrity and doesn't have a safe space, and then, of course, a few months ago when the police officer killed the young man in Memphis. So I began to start thinking, where is the status? Where is a safe haven for Black males? And I thought that here in Florida, with the alarming homicide rates that are going on against Black males, and of course the work that Ben Crump does all across the breadth and length of this country, the work that he's doing, I just thought that this afternoon, Fred, I would come on and talk to the pod called Something Is Going Wrong in the Field. And so with that, that's what brings us to our conversation today, a Men's Summit 2023.
Well, that's quite a handful. But I had this conversation with another community activist a few days ago concerning Black America and Black Jacksonville in particular, concerning the progress, or as he saw it, the lack thereof of progress in the Black community generally. His feeling was centered a great deal around Black economics. But when we look at it, I mean, we have a great deal of Black male success that we can point to almost everywhere. I mean, if we simply start in our area, in the area of politics itself, we've got a great deal of Black males that are in successful positions, who've raised their families fairly successfully, or raising them fairly successfully, with all the trials and tribulations that go with it. I mean, we've got a Black sheriff, we've got two Black men that succeeded each other as presidents of the city council, at a time which at a time that could be controversial. Most of the heads of our authorities within Duval County, with the exception of one or two, are headed by Black men. Transportation Authority, the Port Authority, to name one, the Housing Authority, to name others, with other positions. So what more can be added to this except that the problems that Black males are having are no different than the problems that any male will have if he's not doing the right things?
Well, what I wanted to try to see, Fred, and you're so correct. I talked with Judge Davis, Brian Davis, because we could put him in that same category, a federal judge, second Black federal judge on the bench here in Duval County. But of course, you know, he covers like the middle district. So he goes from here all the way over through maybe Tampa. But I heard Judge Roop said something to me. He said, a lot of the guys come in my courtroom, Fred, but the sad part is they're coming in front of me when I have to exhort punishment. So when you call the names that you call, those gentlemen are so isolated for the general population of Black males they don't even know who they are unless they see it on TV. Some of them don't see them in church because they don't go to the church. So that leads us into the segue, Fred, of what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about health. We're going to talk about wealth. We're going to talk about civic engagement, criminal justice, military, and faith, because a lot of the people names that you're calling, they can't see them. They can't see them sitting over there eating lunch with me or having a conversation, or I can go up and say something to them. It's kind of hard when you're in court to go up and talk to the judge.
We're in 2023.
Right.
The title of the summit that you're coming up with here shortly is called Something Has Gone Wrong in the Field. We're interconnected. Even the most, I will say, the most lowly of us, the most low income of us, has access to information that a generation ago we could only dream about.
Absolutely.
So the information is there for them to get access to information and understand what it takes to get there. But your title still says the same thing, that something has gone wrong in the field. What's gone wrong in the field?
Because of what you just said, that the information that you're saying is available, some of the guys are so to the point of a man cave environment that they can't even connect with wealth. They can't even connect with health. We're going to have some doctors there that they can talk to, that we can talk about getting checked for prostate cancer. As much as an advocate I was for prostate, Fred, I was diagnosed with prostate 4 years ago. But because of my involvement, I knew what to do. I saw the numbers coming up. Not only did I consult with a urologist, I also talked to the gynecologist, right? But I had options because I caught it early. A lot of guys don't want to go to the doctor because they're scared of the finger. And I try to tell them, hey, real men not scared of the finger.
Yeah.
And some of them on the podcast going to get that in the morning, but it'll hit them. But also when it comes to wealth, we're still around here pushing a new buzzword when someone passing your family to get a GoMe fund. Come on, Fred, it's 2023. We don't need to be talking about no GoMe fund. But we need to be telling them about insurance policies. And so we're going to have some experts in that field. We're going to talk about civic engagement. This life is too big for you to think it's centered just around you. So I'm going to try to hope in this, we're trying to establish in this conversation for this day that if they can turn, when we talk about me, I'm going to ask them to put we and just turn the M upside down.
Are you going to be able to get in the audience those persons who are affected by what we're talking about. Too often we have these summits and we all are there in our suits and jackets, but the people that we need to talk to are missing in action, probably because they got to be out there on the streets earning some money, paying for the child support, taking care of getting baby mama some food for the evening. Are you going to be able to reach any of the folks who are affected by this that, quite frankly, could be the best spreader of the word that you're talking about?
Well, I'm prayerful and hopeful by coming on the podcast today, the audience that you reach, that someone will see the podcast and say, hey, I want to be a part of that. I want to do something different. I want to go in another direction. As the old saying, insanity is keep on doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. So hopefully that one or two of these topics will get them. We're going to throw some incentives in too, Fred. On Friday night, we're going to do a comedy show. I'm going to get them laughing a little bit, get them relaxed a little bit. And then on Saturday, we're going to work all day. And then, Fred, we're going to have a raffle of a 55-inch television. It's a $30 cost to come. That would mainly cover some incidental stuff in terms, we're going to do lunch. We're going to have a continental breakfast. We're going to have everything that the sisters have every other weekend. They meet every other weekend, Fred. Every other weekend they meet. But when it comes to black males, we have no place to go. Now, I will submit to you, Fred, I am a member of Omega Sapphire fraternity, but I tell people all the time, they can't go into fraternity because they don't know the handshake. Oh, you're going to laugh on that one. They don't know the handshake, so they can't come in there. And then then somebody said, well, Tony, can they become a Masonic? Well, they can't get into the Masonic. They don't know the sign. So what we are trying to do, Fred, on this weekend, to say that black males in Duval County, as we love to holler about Duval, that we want to bring some like-minded people with this going out across the board, that people will come in from Georgia, even South Carolina. I know you reach all the way up there, to say that, hey, we got some brothers like-minded. Somebody is actually thinking like me outside the box, that I want to come and be a part of it. And I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. We're going to have one of the Moffett Point Marines there from the on the military side. Ambassador Britton is coming in. Not only was he a Moffett Pointer, but he also was an ambassador to two of the Caribbean islands, down in the islands there. And so we'll have some faith leaders there to talk about our faith, that we can't do this thing, we can't do this life alone. And then we're going to have a civic engagement. We're inviting the sheriff, criminal justice. We're inviting the sheriff. We're inviting Judge Ruth, Judge Davis. We're going to have Holloway from the state attorney's office. We have someone there from the public defender's office, just to give them a flavor of what's going on in Duval.
Operation Fix Florida is presenting this. How long have they been around? And I assume they've done these before.
They have been around doing some what we call nonpartisan elections, of getting out the vote. So I'm partnering with them. And basically, Fred, this is just a safe space for black males to come and get some survival information, and also pass it on to their children. So when they come about, that they'll know that there's a place here in Duval. And then we hope that they're out of these subtitles, that some meaningful stuff will come on. Like I'm working with the building trade guys to talk about skills that can help them live a good quality of life. Everybody's not going to go to college. So there are some fields of electricity. Look like we got a housing boom here. So it's a shortage of workers. When even in the subdivision where I am right here on the north side, when I go into that subdivision and I'm walking in the morning, exercising, a lot of those cars from out of town, those could be jobs right here in Duval County. But how do we do that? By bringing men together likewise, and that they will come into. Let me, Fred, I know as you said, we don't have that longer time, but I want to say to you that this is a first, because very seldom do we have Black men coming together to talk, other than if we were cross line, Divine Nine fraternities and stuff like that. But this is not about the fraternity, not about the Masonic. This is about Black males here in Duval County. And I hope by giving us some moments here and time and space here on the podcast that we can get this information out. Now, let me say this to you, Fred. You're going to laugh at it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a call for the first time because my phone number is on the flyer. A person called me. Guess who called me, Fred? I'm going to throw that out. You've been around. Come on, Fred. You've been in leadership. Guess who called me?
The mayor?
Nope. A lady.
A lady.
A lady called, and guess what she asked me? She said, is this just for men? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, you need to do something for men and women, especially young people that are trying to get into a relationship. I said, ma'am, I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm just, come on, Fred.
We've got that on every day. It's called The View. It comes on at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it comes on it. So, but that's how I'm trying to push up the apathy and put some engagement in it, because there's too much going on, Fred, and the stakes are too high. And a lot of the folks that you and I admire are going on to glory. But guess what? On Saturday, the 22nd of April, we're going to tell the story.
All right. Something has gone wrong in the field. It's going to be Friday and Saturday, April 21st and 22nd. It's going to be held at a couple of places.
Friday night,
Friday night,
we're going to be at Temple Gym. That's in Arlington. And they just put 8461 Peeler Road. It'll take them there.
Got it.
Then on Saturday, we're going to be at one of your favorite places, the American Legion Post.
All right. Over on Benedict Road on the north side, 2179. Yes, you can see, they see that right now. It's up on the screen with the flyer. Great. It's worth going to, folks. You should take a look at this. We're going to be running this quite often. Tony, I'm glad you were able to join us today. Operation Fix Florida presents Something Has Gone Wrong in the Field, a men's summit 2023, April 21st and 22nd. Details are right there on the screen. It's a Friday and Saturday. You can hit that QR code and get some additional details for it, but it's well worth your effort. And I'm glad to see that you're involved in putting this together. And we hope to see some more of these as the year and time progresses.
And we look forward, Fred, for you to come by and share with us with that world of knowledge that you have, especially in all the leadership roles you've done in news, in broadcasting. Guys need to know that they can obtain that. But guess what, Fred? You can't be what you can't see.
Amen.
Please join.